If you can't learn from others, you have a pride issue. But learning from others and being teachable is a secret weapon to success. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome to the Purpose Project podcast. So excited that you're on here today and a part of this community and journey that we are on in this podcast that we started not too long ago. So if you've been with us the whole time, thank you. If it's your first time, thank you. We're so excited to have you. Really, we created this podcast to be a coaching tool to help others really uncover and walk out the purpose God has in their life. We believe that everybody has a purpose in their life from God. And we want to help as many people as possible uncover that, discover that, and walk that out in a really, really powerful way. And I hope this podcast is helpful for that. And if you'd like to help us in any way, shape, or form, I'd love to ask you to like, review the podcast, maybe even subscribe to it on whatever platform you listen to us. Share about it. I'd love for you to take some share about it on social media. Tag me, Pastor B Goff, Goff, on social media tags. Would love to see those, or even share it with your friends, coworkers, whatever it looks like to help us get it out to the world. I think the more that we can get on here, the more that we can help people uncover their purpose and walk out the purpose God has for them. Today, we're going to continue a series of talks about high capacity, high level leaders and some qualities of high capacity leaders. What does it look like? What are some common characteristics that they walk through? Here's what I know about you. You are a leader. We are all leaders in some way, shape, or form. Maybe we lead at work. Maybe we're the CEO of our business. Maybe we own our own doctor's office, or maybe we just lead at home as a stay-at-home mom or as a father. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You're a leader. I'm a leader at home as a dad and a husband. I'm also a leader at my job, which is I'm a pastor at a church in South Carolina called Radiate Church. I lead staff and leaders in teams of tons of people that make an impact every single day of their life. Incredible people. And man, it's leadership is so important. And so what we wanted to do was really take this time to go, hey, if we all have purpose and we're all leaders, what are some qualities of high capacity leaders that accomplish much and see great success? So we walked through some of those. Today, I want to really talk about how one of the greatest assets or secret weapons to people that achieve great purpose is the act of being teachable. Or I could say it like this, not being a know-it-all, not thinking you've got it all figured out. Most high capacity leaders that I'm in proximity with and that I've interacted with in my life, they never stop learning. They're confident in what they know. They're confident in what they do, but they never stop learning. They never stop adapting. They never stop growing. In fact, the moment you stop growing, I truly believe, is the very moment you stop being effective in your purpose. I don't think that you can stop growing and just, hey, I'm okay right here. I'm going to be stagnant. I'm not going to learn anything new. I'm not going to get better. I'm not going to be better. I think you stop being effective in those moments. Now, this may seem a bit obvious to you. You're like, man, I listen to your podcast. Clearly, I think being teachable is important. And I think that's amazing. But the reality is it's easy to fall out of the habit of being teachable. It's easy to kind of take for granted those moments and to just go, well, I'll just listen to a podcast. Can I just be honest with you? Listening to this and doing nothing with it doesn't help. That's not being teachable. That's being entertained. But what we want to do is be teachable. We want to take the principles and the ideas of what we're learning and apply them in our life to become better leaders, better followers of Jesus, better moms and dads, better husbands and wives, and better at what God's called us to do in our lives. Being teachable is way too important of a characteristic to not talk about it in the pursuit of purpose. One of my mentors has been with me a really long time. Our church will be 14 years old this year, and he's been a mentor and a voice in my life the entire time. In fact, he was a mentor and a voice in my life long before, a year or two before we started the church. And He's highly successful. You would, if you're in the church realm at all, you'd know who it is if I said his name, but he's just a great mentor. He's been there at some of the darkest moments of my life. He checks on me and my health and my marriage, my leadership. He helps a lot, right? And so I asked him one day, I was just curious. I was like, hey, why have you stuck around so long, right? Like, mentors come and mentors go. There's seasons for that, but you've stuck around a long time. You continue to believe in us. Like you pour in, if I text a question, you respond, you spend time with me. Like, why have you done that? And he kind of laughed, he kind of chuckled a little bit. And he said, number one, I believe in what you're doing. I believe in what God's called you to do. I believe in the purpose God has in your life. And then he said something that I'll actually never forget. It meant the world to me. He said, and when I give advice or when I give insight, you take it and you apply it. You don't just hear what I say, you listen to what I say. You take the advice and you go, how do I apply that? And how do I change something in my leadership, in my life, in my church to really accomplish what my mentor, the one I'm learning from, one of the ones I'm trusting, has spoken into. He said, I'll spend time helping someone that listens and applies what we talked about instead of wasting breath on somebody that won't. What he was actually doing was affirming, hey, you're teachable, Brandon. You're teachable. And because you're teachable, I'll teach. I'll spend time. I'll help. I'll invest, right? And I'm going to be real. Being teachable is not always easy. It's not always as easy as asking a question and you get an answer you like that's easy to apply and easy to make happen. It's honestly easier to just go by what you already know or are convicted by. It's honestly easier to just go do what I know to do and just walk that out and do it that way. It's easier to just ignore the advice that I don't like and do the advice that I do. It's easy for me to go, oh, I don't really understand that, so I just don't want to do anything with it. That's the easy part. What's hard is hearing something that's going to take work and cause change in your life or leadership, and then figure out, how do I apply that in my context? That's hard work. But that's the discipline of being teachable. Being teachable does not mean, hear me, that you just blindly listen and you just blindly do things, right? Being teachable means I listen to someone I trust. I listen to someone that is doing it better than me, bigger than me, greater than me, at whatever scale and whatever thing. Maybe it's mom and dad, husband, wife. Maybe it's CEO. Maybe it's leader, manager, supervisor. Wherever you are, they're doing it better and figuring out, how do I apply this? How does this relate to me? How do I get better and not bitter? How do I learn, hey, you know what? I'm going to walk this out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to listen to what they have to say. That's teachable. Being a teachable leader and a follower of Jesus is imperative. It's a discipline. Always find ways. Hear me. Always find ways to get better. Always find new things to apply. I'm always looking for something different. What can we change in this system? Hey, tell me how you do this. And not just how, but why do you do it that way? And I'm always looking for things to tweak so that we can get better at what we do. It's not always about getting bigger. Sometimes it's about getting better. Here's a few thoughts about being teachable. I'll give you a few as I do each week, right? Here's one. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you're the one everyone always comes to, you need to get in rooms where you're going to someone else. Get in rooms with people, get in conversations with people that are not impressed with your abilities and your knowledge, right? Get in rooms to where you're seeking someone out, they're not seeking you out. Because here's the truth. If you're a high-level leader, if you're a high-capacity leader, if you're the top leader in your organization, it's easy to get comfortable being the one with the answers. It's easy to get comfortable being the one with the answers and the task list and all those things. It's even more important as a leader that's the top of the organization to become comfortable being the one with questions. So don't just begin to get comfortable as a leader that answers. Become comfortable being a leader that asks. I think you learn more by asking questions than answering them. So ask questions. If I'm going to meet with my mentors, I'll have a list of questions on my phone that I want to ask. And often I'll get through one or two and it spurs conversation. I don't even get to the rest. But I'll often ask. I'll often text my mentors, hey, what is something you're learning right now that you think I need to know? Or what is a book that you're reading right now that I need to read, right? Asking questions, not trying to prove myself to them. When's the last time you sat in a room with someone that you listened to rather than someone that listened to you? When's the last time you sat in a room and you weren't the smartest one in the room? You weren't the one they were looking to. You weren't the one leading the room. You were the one asking the questions. You were the one learning. You were the one taking notes. Get in those rooms. That's being teachable. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Here's another thought. If you're not growing, you're declining. If you're not growing, you're declining. Learning isn't something that ends when you get a position, or if it's in a parenting context, when you have kids. Learning is not something that ends when you get married. In fact, I think it just begins in those moments. It's something that you make a lifestyle out of. You make a lifestyle out of being a learner. The moment you make the decision to not grow or get better at something, I truly believe you actually begin going backwards. You need to learn the art of being a learner. Learn your kids. Be a student of your kids. Be a student of your wife. Be a student of your husband. Be a student of your employees, of your bosses. Be a student of those that you lead. Why? Because I'm learning how to lead them and love them better. Learn how to be a student of the craft that I'm dedicated to right now. What has God gifted me to do? What has God put in me to do? I want to be a student of those things. I need to always be learning and growing, because if not, the truth is there's no stagnant water in life and leadership. There's no stagnant water. You're not just going to sit there in the same place. There's always a current, and it's either taking you forward or backward. And if you're growing, you're going forward. But the moment you stop growing and learning, you're going to end up going backwards. You're going to end up in a place you didn't want to be. So if you're not growing, you're declining. Here's another thought. Listen to the right voices or you'll do the wrong things. Listen to the right voices or you'll do the wrong things. This may come off as obvious. You may hear that and go, oh, my child needs to hear that. My teenager needs to hear that, right? This may come off as obvious, but if you want to do the right things and move in the right direction, for the right reasons, you have to listen to the right voices. You have to surround yourself with people that care about the success, care about you, and do it the right way. Who are you seeking out that's doing it bigger, better, and greater than you? Who are you seeking out that has higher character than you? Who are you seeking out to ask them about their marriage so that you can become better in yours? Who are you seeking out to listen to and learn from? Surround yourself with the right voices or you'll do the wrong things. You'll do it the wrong way. You'll compromise character and integrity, and you don't mean to. You need the right voices speaking into you. Throughout Scripture, Jesus always takes this time to hear from God, the Father, right? He always takes time to hear from God. He would spend time in strategic and intentional prayer before and or after big moments, big ministry moments, miraculous moments, right? He would always take time to just hear from God. Now, this was always kind of interesting to me because he's Jesus, right? So he's God in the flesh, but yet he took time to hear from God before he acted a lot of times. Why would he do that? He's Jesus. Why would he need to do that? Here's why. It was because God's voice spoke louder to him than any other voice on the planet. He was listening to God's voice so he could do the right thing at the right time, the right way. He was making sure his heart and his head were listening to the right voice so that he could accomplish the right thing and become all God had for him. Hear me. The number one voice you need to listen to is God. Whenever you're uncovering your purpose and discovering what God has for you, take it to God. Hey, God, will you lead me today? God, will you bless me today? Hey, God, will you help me know the right decisions to make today? How do I lead well today? How do I keep my attitude in check today, God? Listen to that voice and then get around voices that are doing it bigger, better, with higher integrity than you are, and listen to the right voices to do the right things at the right time. Take some time this week to take inventory of your life, of your spirit, of your leadership and ask if you're actually becoming teachable, or are you just stuck in your own ways? Are you listening to others, or are you listening to the echo chamber of your own thoughts and ideas? Are you thinking through the methods of others and the why of others, or are you married to your own traditions in your own ways? Are you taking time to listen to podcasts? I mean, clearly you're listening to this one, but are you listening to podcasts? Are you reading books and researching articles on the typical or the specific thing of your purpose? If not, why? If I can't learn from others, I got a pride issue. If you can't learn from others, you got a pride issue. You've become a know-it-all without even realizing it. I want to encourage you. Go learn from others. Read some books. Read some articles. Sit down, invite somebody to coffee and ask them questions about what they're doing. If you're not doing that, when and how can you start learning to be teachable? You have to make that decision. Now, next week, we're going to continue this talk on the qualities of high-capacity leaders as we talk about the power of being proactive. The power of being proactive. This week, go learn, get better at your purpose. But remember this, you matter to me, you matter to God. We say this every week. You have a lot of purpose, and you can change the world. So now, let's get after it. I'll see you next week.